Welcome back, Maker's Gonna Learn Crafting friends. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm super excited about this project. I actually have another project going toward the same theme for spring porch. It's really fun. If you don't know, we are baseball lovers at the Oaks home, and so we are making this awesome baseball themed, kind of like a planter stand. You could also use it as like a table that you're in your rocking chair, you're sitting in your rocking chair putting your sweet tea on it or whatever. But it's a planter themed or inspired stand. So I'm so excited. Baseball, planters, outside, crafting. This is just going to be the best segment ever. Thank you for joining. We are actually going to be using a cut file for Maker's Gonna Learn today. And so if you are not a member of Maker's Gonna Learn yet, head on over to our website, makersgonnalearn.com. Look at all of the amazing benefits that you guys get from being a member of Maker's Gonna Learn. We do have a monthly membership and a yearly membership. And our yearly membership is just the mecca of all memberships. It's amazing. It includes over 2,500 cut files, over 300 fonts that we update monthly. So you guys get an additional 20 fonts every single month, and lots of cut files every month. So in addition to that, we also offer a free commercial license for you guys. So if you make this and you want to sell it, you can absolutely do that. You're going to want to sell this. It's super cute. People will want to buy it. And then in that yearly membership, we also offer 3 free e-courses for you guys that are how to use your machine, how to work in Design Space, and then building a business through die cutting. We also give you access to our amazing members-only Maker's Gonna Learn Facebook group, which has over 5,400 die cutting like-minded crafters now. So you guys can throw in your projects that you've done and hear everyone ooh and ah over them, or if you have some problems with Design Space or a project fail or whatever, throw that in there as well, and they can help you troubleshoot that. Our community at Maker's Gonna Learn is absolutely amazing. It honestly, I love the cut files and I love the fonts and I benefit from them. I use them daily, obviously, but the community that I have gotten to be a part of, just because of the memberships and all of you guys who subscribe and are members, is just amazing. It's priceless, honestly. Anyway, so if you haven't, check out the website, makersgonnalearn.com, and then you can craft all the time with us using our cut files and fonts. So now that we have that out of the way, let's talk supplies for this project. We are using an 18-inch round today. Now I have pre-painted this, so it's natural normally. This is from Hobby Lobby. Like I said, it is an 18-inch round. We use these all the time. It's a heavy, sturdy, nice piece of wood. Generally, they come in really smooth. You don't really have to sand them or anything like that. And like I said, we try to use these for lots and lots of projects just because they look really professional. They've done a really good job with them. Hobby Lobby, not super expensive, but you will want to use a 40% off coupon if you can. So in addition to that, we have some bats. These little mini bats. Are they not the cutest ever? Oh my goodness. Let's see how big this one is. They are right at 16.5 inches. And the diameter, about 1.25 inches. So 16 by 16.5 by 1.25 inches. Adorable. These are going to be our legs, friends. The legs of our table. And I don't have to do anything to them. They're amazing. I got them from Amazon. You can get them as well. I painted this today with our Deco Art Chalky Finish paint. This is the Pure White, I think. Everlasting is the name of it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I should have known that beforehand. So this is what we use. We really love this chalky finish paint. It's a good like matte finish. And you'll notice I put 2 coats on this. If I wanted it to be like a nice stark white, I would have added a third. But because it is baseball themed, and when you think of baseball, you think of dirt and a little bit of grunge. So I didn't want it super, super stark white. That's why I chose this. So we've got that. Then we're going to be using some red HTV today. So because we're using HTV, we also need an EasyPress. I'm going to be using my little mini wonderful EasyPress. And then there are so many different ways, well, not so many, but there are different ways that you could attach these bats to the tabletop. You could definitely use like a double-ended screw and pre-drill your holes and screw that in there, but I am using this heavy-duty Gorilla construction glue. I have used this in the past on some other wood projects and had really good success with it, so that's what I'm going to be using today. And then in addition to that, we are using our maker. You can definitely use your Air 2 for this. And honestly, you could even use a Joy because we're just going to be putting some baseball stitches on here. And so it's going to be a long and narrow cut. The Joy would be great for that. So we're using our standard mat and a fine point blade. As far as supplies go, other than like normal weeding tools, scissors, that type of thing, I think we've covered everything. And we're ready to jump over into Design Space and create our cut file. Okay, so we are ready over in Design Space. This is going to take literally no time at all to do this. It's super quick. We've done all the hard work for you by creating this awesome cut file that we're using. So what I want to do is start out with our basic shape. Over in the left-hand side of Design Space where shapes the shape option is, we'll press circle and drag in. Like I said, our round is 18 inches, so I'm going to resize this to 18 inches up at the top. I'm just going to type in 18 there, and then we'll zoom out a little bit so that we can see our project better. Let's change this to a light gray. I would do white, but white is hard to see, and I just want a lighter color so it's easier for me to see. Now all I'm going to do is upload that cut file. Look how cute this little baseball cut file is from Maker's Gonna Learn. You could size this up to 18 inches and do the whole cut file if you want to, but that's not really the look I'm going for with the circle all the way around. So what I want to do is delete that black part or hide it. You can hide it just like this, or you can delete it just by pressing delete. Then all I need to do, let's see here, I'm going to make this into 2 layers because let's see if we like this. I could size this up. I'm going to rotate it and size it up here and see if I like, yeah, I do like that. What I was going to do is cut this into 2 separate ones and then size each one separately, but this actually works really nicely. So I like this option. Let's just size it up right there until we are good. That looks great, friends. How easy is that? Oh my goodness, I love it. So I'm going to delete that because I don't need it. And then the only other thing that I'm going to do, I like things very symmetric. And again, there are so many different ways to do things in the crafting world. This is just the way that I'm choosing to do it. I want to insert let's put that back over there. I want to insert a triangle. There we go. And then I want this triangle to be as big as I can make it, which is 11.5 inches. And what I'm going to do is cut this out into cardstock, and I will place this on the back side of my wood round as a template so that I know where to place the legs of my table, so that they're evenly spaced out and that they look really good. Super easy to do that. I'm just going to leave it right like that, and I'll hide this circle layer because I don't need it. Okay, so before I get ahead of myself, I should mention that I knew where I was going with this to begin with, but then I just got sidetracked. The reason that I wanted to slice these down into 2 pieces were because right now that's too big for you to cut on any mat. So if I slice them down, I can just actually use this to slice with. I'll put it right on top, send it to the front. If I slice them down, then I can cut both of them out separately, and it will work nicely for me. So I'm just going to slice, delete, delete. Now I have 2. These will work perfectly on here, and they will cut on my mat too, which is the major goal. Okay, so I have these 2 stitches that I'm going to cut with using red HTV. And then I'm just going to use a random piece of cardstock that I have to cut this. So I'm ready to hit make it. And then this is HTV, and honestly, it may not matter if I mirror it, but I'm going to just in case. I could probably flip it and it would be fine, but I don't want to chance it. So I'm ready to press continue. I'm connecting to my maker here. And then I will select cardstock because that's what I'm using to cut out this triangular template. Cardstock. I'm using heavy cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and favorite this. I haven't used, this is my actual personal account because I accidentally put some stuff together using it at home and couldn't save it otherwise. So none of my favorites are favorited, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So to favorite the items that you use a lot, you just press that star over to the right like I did. When I press done, you can see right here. Now that is one of my favorited items. So I'm going to press more pressure just because this is a thicker cardstock and I want to make sure that it cuts all the way through. And then I'm going to load my mat and let it cut my template. Okay, so now we have our little template ready and we are ready to load the mat for the HTV. Make sure that you load your HTV shiny side down so that it will cut properly. Okay, now we have our HTV loaded on our mat. Make sure that you are switching your setting to everyday iron on so that you don't cut through your HTV and your backing, and you'll be ready to cut. Okay, we are ready to weed this. I do want to point out there is quite a bit of extra vinyl on either side of this, but we did unfortunately have to use a big piece of vinyl just to get this cut out. So I'm going to take my little precision knife here. I cut along here. That way we can save this extra and put it in our scrap bin. Surely we can make something fun out of that amount of HTV. So we'll put that to the side and then we're just going to weed up the extra. It comes off really easy. It should come up in one piece. Yay! Now we can place it and adhere it to our round. Okay, we are ready to just place these on our round. The nice thing about this cut file is that it has these nice edges right here. You can get an idea of where it's supposed to go and then just push it down with your hands, making sure that it sticks really nicely. And then you'll do the same thing up here. Just like that. And then we have our EasyPress. We do have it set on the first setting, which is right at 300. And then we're gonna just go in and move it around. That is what this EasyPress is designed to do. It is designed to be moved around. Once you see bubbles forming underneath this plastic transfer sheet, you know that it is adhering. You will need to let it cool before you peel it. HTV is designed specifically to be used with fabrics that have fibers, and the adhesive adheres to those fibers. And since this is wood and doesn't really have fibers, it does need to be peeled cool so that the adhesive has time to really stick. Okay, now that we have let it cool, I'm going to gently peel this back. Just make sure you're looking at your vinyl to see if any of it doesn't want to stick, and if for some reason you have an area that doesn't want to stick, then you can lay that plastic back down and just hit it with some more heat. I'm going to do this piece again just really quickly. Okay, once this is cooled, you can peel this side as well. I know that you guys are burning with questions about sealing this and whatnot. If it's going to be an outdoor project that is in the rain a lot, you may want to seal it. You could use like a polyurethane or something like that and just put a really light coat on it. Make sure it's an anti-yellowing one. That way your yellow or your white paint does not turn yellow. That would be yucky. I personally have a covered porch that I'm going to put mine on, so I probably won't seal mine. And it will be just fine, I believe. Even, you can see guys, I'm having to go back and hit some of this because even with some cool time, it doesn't want to stick very good, but that's okay. It's not super hard to go back and lay that back down and hit that with some more heat. So we are looking good. All right, we've got that. and we are ready to put our legs on. Okay, so what I have done is taken my triangle that I cut out with cardstock, my little template, and I've put it in the center here. And the way that I knew that it was in the center, or relatively close to the center, was I just measured from point to here and made sure that it was the same distance on all 3 points. And now what I'm going to do is just take a Sharpie and put a little mark everywhere that I need them to be. Again, guys, there are so many different ways that you could do this. My dad, if he saw this, who is a very good woodworker, would be like, oh my gosh, why are you doing it that way? This is the way I'm doing it, guys, and it's going to work. It's going to be beautiful. Now all I'm going to do is just take this Gorilla Glue that we have. Guys, this Gorilla Glue is pretty amazing. It is heavy duty. I'm going to show you up close. It's a construction adhesive, and as you can see, it works on decks, drywalls, tubs, metal, subfloors, mirrors, stone, laminate, ceramic, brick, tile, like all kinds of wonderful things. It does say that it has an instant grab. The cure time is 24 hours based on, how much humidity you live in. We live in Tennessee. We're pretty good here. It's not super, super humid. So it should be 24 hours should be a good cure time. You can paint it, FYI, if you are curious, and it is incredibly durable in all different weather. So that is really nice, for this outdoor project that we're doing. Anyway, so I'm just going to take one of my bats and put a little bit on the end here. I don't want it to be too much because I don't want any, although it's going to be on the bottom of the table, I don't necessarily want a ton of spillage. Like, I don't want it to seep out. And it is going to do it anyway, just a little bit. But that's okay. I don't want it to be like a huge amount that's really gloppy. So I'm just going to do that for all of them. Apply some more there. Put it right on my spot that I marked. It's that easy, guys. I would recommend leaving it exactly like this for the 24 hours. I wouldn't necessarily flip it because you don't want them to actually move or accidentally move a little bit. So let this dry for 24 hours and then you can turn it over and use your table. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy baseball planter that we made today. I hope it looks really cute on your spring porch and that it brings you all sorts of happiness through baseball season. If you aren't a subscriber of Maker's Gonna Learn yet, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and leave us a nice comment, and we will see you another day crafting, making wonderful projects. Thanks so much for watching.